Yeah, so Ryan Stanton, I am a Oregon Army National Guard veteran. Served about 10 years. I was mostly, for the most part, I was mostly active Guard Reserve. So I was the one that actually took care of all the drilling soldiers for the week and for the month. I came in as a track mechanic, and then I ended up actually um, changing my MOS to 42 Alpha, which is basically um, a human resources specialist. I did that. Um, yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I ended up my only last positions was a medical readiness NCO, um, taking care of a lot of the guys that came back from deployment uh, from Afghanistan, and helping them deal with their issues, either helping to deal with talk with VA, which was always interesting dealing with them. But yeah, so being on that end of helping people was fun. And then I deployed in 2014 to 2015 to Afghanistan, um, and then had a bunch of negative experiences there that were just super hard. And I um, came back, and about I don't know, about 6 months later, I'd started developing some really bad sound sensitivity issues, anger, a lot of frustration, and then I ended up getting out 2 years later, um, only after being let go from the active guard reserve program, which really sucked. But anyways, yeah, so just got out in 2018, and after that, just started my own business doing pressure washing, that kind of thing, kind of because it was harder to work for people. Felt I had authority issues, and I had a lot of other things that were going on, and so I just decided to work for myself. So my experience was very interesting. I mean, I had a good time. I mean, I learned a lot, came back with a lot of tools. But I gotta say, I think for me, getting there to Warriors Ascent was very challenging for me at first, only because at the beginning of the pandemic, I discovered that I um, had a problem with, well, I mean, I have social anxiety, and my social anxiety got really bad, and I discovered that I was having troubles with seeing people in mass. I thought every time I saw somebody in a mask that I was um, seeing somebody pointing a gun at me. And so, anyways, it took me a while to really kind of work through that. I'm still working through it, but anyways, so for me to get on the plane to fly over there was very challenging, because being in a plane with people all in mass was really interesting. So, um, but yeah, so I pretty much took me a little bit to get my mind right to get out on the plane, but I got on the plane and got over there, got to Warriors Ascent, and soon discovered uh, a good group of guys, like, group of what, seven of us that um, were really there uh, to work on some issues that we were all dealing with, and to really come together and to really have some good, honest discussions, and to find some good tools that we could utilize. I was never a yoga person, to be honest, and that was one of the things that I took in pretty quickly, to be able you know, to start your day with that and end your day with that, which was pretty nice. But then, I mean, I guess my experience was just all about really learning how to connect better to myself. Um, the meditation, the mindfulness, and especially the journaling. I took back the tool of journaling. I've always tried journaling, but I never really got into it because I was so far into like you have to do it a certain way, and then I just never really got into a habit. But coming out of Warriors Ascent and having the accountability to be able to reach out to other people was nice, because with the journaling and the yoga and the meditation and all that, it's really helped out for the most part. And to be able to have other people to reach out to is, and if you had any problems with those things, to be able to talk about. So, yeah, I know I just brought a lot of tools back. I'm still having a little bit of challenges, just trying to implement some of those things, only just because of the environment, the things that I'm dealing with currently, my own life and my marriage. But it's slow going, but I'm finding a lot of value in those tools that I brought back from Warriors Ascent. Well, first of all, I would tell the advice that I would give would be, don't think that you can do it alone, because I've personally been there where I felt like I could do it alone, and work on my own issues, or even not work on my own issues. So I guess that's what would be my first thing. But the second thing would be like, well, there are other people that are out there. There are other, Warriors Ascent, the program, that, where they're there to, help you. And for anyone that's struggling with anything they're dealing with, anxiety, anger, frustration, PTSD, or anything like that. I'm a prime example of someone that has a lot of things going on and took the advice of Carrie, who, reached out and said, hey, you know what? I know you're struggling, and now you're trying to deal with stuff on your own, but there's a community of people. There's a program out there that, is specifically there to help. Reach out and really take that, to heart. And so, yeah, I would just say, you know what, just do it. I jumped on a plane with a bunch of people in mass, and that thing was really frustrating for me. But I got here, and I, found a brotherhood. I found a community of people that, support you, even after you're done at the Warriors Ascent. So, yeah, I would just say, just, take the time for yourself. There's not a lot of times we take some time for ourselves, and we actually get a week to be able to, to do that for yourself. So, yeah, just do it.